Howdy, howdy. This is Oregon. So this is the second boss in the Defiled Chalice. You'll notice we've already got some damage in on him. I realized that my recording settings on my PS4 have been set to 15 minutes instead of 30. I need to up that so I can make sure I get full boss fights in here. But considering the size of this clip, that might not be what I want to do. Because I'm considering cutting this fight down, because this fight is absurdly long for what we have to do to cheese him. Well, not necessarily cheese him, but to fight him safely, more or less. I'm not giving him opportunities to hit me as much, and I'm trying to sneak in hits where I can. Oleg is about to go down here. Yep, there he goes. And now it's just me. So, if you end up having to fight this guy solo, this long video will show you how you can do this safely. The reason I do this particular way is because he has several moves that will one-shot you. But only in the Defiled Chalice. He doesn't really one-shot you anywhere else. I'll point him out as he does them. Usually when he would go to do that is when I would hit him when he whips his head around. Because then I usually have a moment. See, right now I was kind of in the moment. I was kind of panicking a little, so now I'm getting more collected. You'll get to see the kind of gauge of his damage too, like right there. That would have done way more damage if I wasn't actively hitting him in the middle of it. I didn't realize he was actually as fast as me when I run until I tried that, and I was like, oh good god. And you might have noticed I used a blood vial to heal when I was literally like so close to full you couldn't see the pixel move. See there, yeah, that's the full damage of his fire bite. But the reason I healed when it looked like I was full is because if he leaps at me, even with this armor on, which is like the highest mix of defense and fire resistance I can possibly put on this character, it will put me so low it looks like I die in one hit. And then usually he'll do something that just barely hits me afterward and it kills me. Basically, if you're not 100% certain of how his motions go, just keep watching and you'll be able to see and remember what he's about to do based on the way his head moves. That's when he almost never does. He usually swipes from the other side with his face. Once we get all the attacks laid out, I'm probably gonna just put some music on or something. I might even speed this up a bit. I just want to make sure we get each one of his attacks laid out as to what to expect from it. As he's being kind of nice to me right now, he's not doing his charge and leap. His leap is one, if it catches you, that's a guaranteed kill for most people, because most people don't put as much into vitality as I do at this level. Now when he does this, I could probably run up and get him a good hit in the side, but I don't want to risk it because one of the time, well, there you go, there's one bite right there that did 75 to 80% of my life. I don't want to risk it when he does that, because there was one point where I did hit him in the side when he was trying to do that, and he exploded fire on his backside, and then he ended up hitting me afterward while I was stunned from that. I slowly kind of pick up on that fire ability when he does his like fire barking, and I realize just how far I need to leap if I want to get a hit in at the very end of that too. So it ends up giving me another free hit, but only a couple of times because it takes so long. So there's his charge. If he catches you with that, then it kind of depends on how he hits you. Because if he hits you and runs you completely over, that'll kill you straight up. If he just kind of hits you with the very end of it, usually it doesn't kill you straight up, it just hits really hard. This is kind of why I kite him around the edge of the map, and it's so I can be constantly strafing just a little bit. That way I can get out of the way easier if he does charge or leap. See, that just makes that so much easier. There are a couple points where I really want to get greedy just to get a little extra damage on him, but as much effort as it takes to kill this guy is not a good idea. He has a ton of life. I'm not looking forward to the third boss. So far the boss theme here is fire. Because the previous person enchanted their blade with fire and they threw flame waves at me. This guy pretty much is fire. They call him a watchdog, but that's definitely a possum. I want to wait until after he leaps before I speed this up. Just so you can see what it looks like. Yeah, when he kicks those flame waves up that you just saw, the very outer edge of the puff of fire doesn't actually hurt you. It's only if you get hit by the wave that pushes it out. Or, of course, his actual foot. You may have noticed I only have 0 souls during this fight, and that's because I try to spend all of my souls, or well, blood echoes, before I do a boss fight. That way, if I do die, I don't lose more than like 700, and then I don't care to pick them back up, considering how much you end up getting from fights like this, because I think he's like 128,000. I wonder if the third boss is gonna actually be fire as well. Okay, I think he's gonna leap soon. You know, I may not end up speeding this up because, I mean, it's taking him so long to leap. I mean, there's only like 5 minutes left. Like 4.5. I mean, you get the gist so far. Just kite him to where you're strafing a little. That way if he does leap or charge, you can get out of the way. Like I said with the previous fight, this is all a game of patience, man. And also depth perception, which I seem to be lacking. Like, holy crap. Right here. Nope. I thought that was the time I hit him. I guess it was closer to his death. I hate bosses that make me top my health off even when I'm at like 95%. That drives me nuts. Okay, I think this is where he's getting ready to leap. Unless maybe I just overlooked it the last time. There's his leap. Yeah, if he lands on you with that, you're straight up dead. You might have like a 0.5% of health like I did the first time. So that's why I always have to keep my health maxed out, because he has abilities like that. But man, this fight was just grueling. It was so long. I'm wondering if the third fight's actually going to be worse. If they stick with the flame theme, I wonder what it's even going to be that I fight, because, I mean, those are the only two fire bosses I can remember off the top of my head. Oh, well, while we're waiting and going through all this, heads up. When you're going through the actual level here, before you reach him, they have these little hunched over witches that shoot little fireballs. And there's two different ones. One of them only shoots like a couple of fireballs, and then one of them will shoot like 6 or 7, I think, in a row. And one of those will kill you. So you have to kind of use the trees in the room to block the fireballs, and then just run out and throw like a poison dagger in between. Because getting close to her is going to be really difficult. She launches them much faster than the other witch does. And there we go. Big guy down. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you stuck through this whole boss fight, because wow, that is rinse, lather, repeat as fuck. So, well, see y'all next time. Have a good one.